As I was reading this book, Becoming Supernatural, I am reminded of how everything repeats and everything is a reflection, and it goes out from inside to outside. And so there's this section he's talking about our genes and how genes create the proteins that basically regulate our body function. And when we have a negative signal go to the gene, it will create a protein that would create some sort of disease or deterioration, etc. And when we have positive signals coming to the genes, our genes create all the things that make us healthy, strong immune system, all of our proteins are balanced and powerful and perfect, and we stay very vigorous, youthful, and energetic, active, physically capable. And immediately there's a parallel reflection to our outer reality. And this is really important because so many times we see the story of people having to face sort of a fear test. I'm thinking of Joseph Smith and him being surrounded by darkness before he was able to move past that into the light, the revelation. And in our lives, it's the same. As we begin to change our thinking and feeling, our reality that we have created from past experiences will continue to come towards us, and it tests us. Are you really looking to change? Are you really wanting to move forward and progress? Or are you going to allow this outside stimulus of a past experience or a past reality to deteriorate your personal progress? One thing that I find fascinating is at this particular time, we are surrounded by so many signs in our reality. The world itself has all of those signs that are used for driving, etc. But then when there's construction, it seems that there used to be a sign that would say construction, and now all of a sudden we have, where there was one or two or maybe three signs on either side of a construction site, we now have dozens of signs that all say danger. And it seems as if the world itself is manifesting this increased stress levels and dark, frightening sort of thoughts and feelings, and it's feedbacking by this constant increase of our local, governments need to constantly be demonstrating where people's thinking is at. And in fact, even after the construction is done, the people who are responsible to take those signs down often don't. And so you're walking through neighborhoods who had construction done 2 years later, and they still have like 6 or 7 or 8 danger signs up in their neighborhood. And everybody's like consciously oblivious to it because they've just become completely it's become invisible to them. And the question is it invisible to them because they have moved beyond into a state of progress where things sort of blow through you like the wind? It no longer gets stuck. You don't get fixated on it. Or are they unconscious to it because they have all sorts of coping mechanisms, whether it's drugs, food, social media, TV, movies, sex, gambling, work, social projects, volunteering, church, whatever distractions that keep them from acknowledging the parts of their environment that are still trying to tell them there's work to be done. There's different layers of the signs. And so as we're going through, it's perfectly natural. For instance, a person going through addiction counseling will tell you that in that first year, they're constantly being bombarded by all these temptations, all these sort of invitations, if you will, to go back to an old way of being rather than to move forward into their new future goals of sobriety. And so it is with our spiritual journeys. So it is with our physical journeys. As a physical body, we accept, normalize even. People normalize aging. People normalize the loss of memory and the loss of personal capacity and body function and that constant thinking pattern that actually teaches children at a very young age, and then people older, to constantly reaffirm a thought pattern that is actively degrading the integrity of a body and a global system, because we start to think, oh, the world is this, and we put a label attached to it as being the world is full of lies and stealing and imbalances and all these things. And there's a difference between looking at something as an inspiration towards personal responsibility in order to make personal changes in ourselves and in the world around us, and just that sort of defeatist, nihilistic acceptance of it's always going to be this way, why bother? And so as we go through our days being tested, literally being tested by a past understanding of ourselves, there must be this constant renewal of the thoughts and the feelings that progress us forward, that move us through the danger signs, that move us through that dark envelope of fear into the potential of a new beginning and the potential of greater progress and more dramatic and dynamic, increased moving forward in understanding, because we are only limited by our own limitations, by our own beliefs. And when we let go of all of those limitations, suddenly the opening of infinity and eternity is right there for us, and we are strong and young and capable. We can learn and remember, when we can continue to develop and to experience and to embrace and accept and surrender, knowing that we are continually doing our personal homework to perfect our thoughts and the feelings that we have every day. That's that thing, because even in the face of 100 danger signs, when you're feeling the spirit, when you're feeling the reverberation or the reflection of all that perfect thinking, those signs only inspire you to keep working and inspire you to keep giving of yourself in service to those who are also working. And so the tests then become not so much something that's meant to draw you back and to pull you back and to keep you from moving forward, but something that continues to reinvigorate and revitalize and to restore your passion to keep moving forward. It's cyclical up or cyclical down. And if you find yourself and the feelings start to diminish, that's that signal that says, wait a second, I've let a thought get in the way and limit me, and I can change it right now. And right now I'm just thankful that I'm aware of it, and I'm thankful that I have the ability to change it, and I'm thankful and thankful and thankful. And that's a really great way to get yourself back up on track, moving in the direction towards your infinite and perfect self. So yes, it's amazing that the tiny little world that is our mind and our heart, our thinking and our feeling and our body, is just a mini version of what is going on in the world. And every person, every individual responsible ego who takes responsibility for the formation of their identity to be the best version of themselves is not only altering their entire existence, but they're sending out those waves, those reverberations into the world that is allowing other people to pick up on messages of truth and understanding and to rise up out of whatever's holding them back. The mists of darkness, the valleys, the fog that sort of keeps you from truly being awake and aware of everything you're capable of. It's extraordinary. I just had to share that now, because reading this book is just like, for me, the power of scripture is the power of a book like this, or The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, or Richard Bach's Illusions, Adventures of Reluctant Messiah. These are the kind of books where, and many books every book that you read, it's not like it's saying anything new, but it's saying it from a new perspective. And that's really the glory of a really powerful book, is that what makes us different from a omniscient divine mind is the omniscient divine mind understands every perspective completely and fully. We have our own perspective, and if we're willing to reach outside our own perspective and to embrace the other perspectives. We realize that the messages, the truth, the core capital T truth are all the same. They're just being expressed from different points of view, like expressing, an experience from one side of the street, another side of the street, and this side of the street, and up in a tree, and down on the ground. Depending what age you are, what was important to it, everybody's going to see something differently, but we're all talking about the same thing. And that's the glory of reading every book, not just one book or two books, or maybe we've got 5 books in our repertoire and we just keep reading them over and over. And that's great, because you're going to really know that well, but you're always going to have that limited understanding, that limited perspective. Being able to embrace a book that is completely contrary to everything you think and believe, being able to listen to that person who says everything that is completely contrary to everything you understand, those are the windows and the doors to a greater understanding of not only what you know truly, but what you don't know yet. So embrace the unknown, because in the unknown is everything that you need to know to be the best, very best version of who you can be. Stay brilliantly blessed and have an awesome Sunday.